This stray dog was found limping and taken to the shelter to be put down, but 5 minutes later something incredible happened. When Robin was brought into the shelter from the streets, the caregivers noticed that he had trouble walking and would most times wince in pain. The poor dog had been through a lot, but no one believed that his story would soon change. When the in-house vet was informed about the new stray limping dog that was brought in, she informed the staff to prepare the dog to be euthanized. The vet made the decision swiftly, without dwelling on it too much. Due to limited state funding for animal shelters and inadequate resources, the shelter was already at capacity with few potential adopters. Additionally, the streets were overrun with stray and lost animals. In Robin's case, given his existing impairments, it seemed most humane to end his suffering. As the days passed and the date for Robin's euthanasia approached, the staff at the shelter made sure to provide him with as much comfort and care as possible. Despite the impending fate, they couldn't help but be drawn to Robin's friendly and resilient spirit. Despite his initial dirty and unkempt appearance, Robin's personality shone through, endearing him to everyone at the shelter. The staff took extra measures to ensure Robin's last days were filled with love and attention. They spent time playing with him, giving him treats, and showering him with affection. Despite the heaviness of the situation, Robin seemed to thrive on the kindness shown to him, wagging his tail and showering everyone with grateful licks and nuzzles. But just when it seemed like there was no hope left for Robin, something miraculous happened. The day came for Robin to be put down, and the staff arrived at the shelter to carry out the euthanasia procedure. The vet was notified and prepared herself to go through with the procedure. However, she had no idea that something incredible was about to happen, and that the dog with the broken leg would change everything 5 minutes later. As he quietly laid on the operating table, awaiting his inevitable fate, Robin seemed to realize how serious the situation was. He exuded a grave alertness, as if he knew exactly what was about to happen. The syringe with the lethal dose of medication lay inches away from the poor dog, and within minutes of injecting it, it would all be over. It wasn't the vet's first time performing this procedure, and although she was calm and collected about the entire thing, for some reason today, there hung a heavy atmosphere in the air. Any animal lover and those who work with animals can tell you that euthanizing animals is a particularly difficult thing to do, no matter how many times you've done it or seen it before. They all felt sad that another loving dog had to be put down. With countless strays like Robin ending up like this, it wasn't the most pleasant part of any vet's job. But unfortunately, in most cases, there was no other choice. As the veterinarian carrying the syringe walked up to Robin, the poor dog whimpered softly. It was almost as if he was taking his last breath. But then, in a remarkable turn of events, Robin did the most incredible thing that startled everyone. As the vet stood in front of him with the syringe in her hand, ready to inject it, Robin touched her with his limp paw. He then also placed his other front paw on her shoulder, perhaps in need of a hug or some assurance at that crucial time. Whatever the reason, this was an unexpected and really heartbreaking gesture. It seemed as if Robin was begging for a second shot at life with this simple but touching move. His sincere plea suddenly diminished the significance of the planned euthanasia, even though it was originally intended due to his damaged leg. Surprised by Robin's unforeseen display of emotion, the veterinarian hesitated for a moment, weighing the options. In those few seconds, something significant changed. There was suddenly a glimmer of hope in what had been considered an impossible situation. It was as if fate was smiling down on Robin, because everyone in attendance found sympathy in the dog's appeal, which caused them to reconsider his situation. Something was decided in that instant of human-animal connection that would change Robin's destiny. The process of putting Robin to death was delayed, since Robin's future was unclear, but it seemed hopeful again. The vet decided to carry out some tests to figure out if Robin's leg was truly broken, or if he had just sustained an old injury that was never treated, which made him limp. If only Robin could tell them what had happened that day, his leg got injured. Perhaps he had wandered too far from safety, chasing after a scent or a fleeting glimpse of freedom. Maybe it was a sudden misstep on a slippery surface, or a collision with a car, or worse, a heartless action of a dog hater. Whatever the cause, the result was clear: a painful injury that left the dog unable to walk properly. The specifics of the accident remained unknown to the staff. Regardless of the circumstances that led him to this point, what mattered most now was determining the best course of action for Robin's recovery. After a thorough examination, it was discovered that Robin had been suffering from a treatable injury that had rendered him lame. With proper rest and care, Robin would be able to lead a happy and healthy life, but the shelter lacked the facilities, tools, and medication needed for the poor dog. Although they were overwhelmed with joy and relief, the staff at the shelter knew that Robin's story was far from over. Instead of saying goodbye to him, they were now preparing to find him proper treatment and a loving forever home where he would be cherished and cared for. And as Robin wagged his tail happily, it was clear that this stray dog had beaten the odds and found a new lease on life. A renowned animal rescue organization called Vet Ranch Animal Rescue reached out to the shelter, expressing interest in taking Robin under their wing. The volunteers had seen his picture circulating on social media, and they found his tale to be captivating. With renewed hope, the shelter staff eagerly coordinated with the rescue organization to arrange for Robin's transfer. Amidst the flurry of activity, there was a palpable sense of relief and joy among the staff. Robin, oblivious to the last-minute reprieve from his fate, continued to greet each day with his trademark enthusiasm. Finally, the day arrived for Robin to embark on his journey to a new life. As he was loaded into the rescue organization's vehicle, the staff bid him a tearful but hopeful farewell. It was a bittersweet moment, knowing that Robin was leaving their care, but also knowing that he was now destined for a brighter future. As the vehicle pulled away, Robin glanced back at the shelter one last time, perhaps sensing the significance of the moment. Little did he know, his story was far from over. With his indomitable spirit and the love of those who had cared for him, Robin was poised to defy the odds and embark on a remarkable journey of healing and redemption. A group of sympathetic veterinarians and volunteers welcomed Robin as he settled into his new temporary residence at Vet Ranch Animal Rescue, and were eager to assist him on his road to recovery. They carefully tended to his needs, providing the specialized care and treatment that he required. With each passing day, Robin's condition improved, and his once limping gait grew stronger and more confident. The rescue organization spared no expense in ensuring that Robin received the best possible care. From physical therapy sessions to regular checkups, he was surrounded by a dedicated team who were committed to seeing him thrive. And thrive he did. As the weeks turned into months, Robin underwent a remarkable transformation. His coat, once dull and matted, now gleamed with health, and his eyes sparkled with newfound vitality. He became a favorite among the staff and volunteers, his infectious spirit touching the hearts of everyone he met. Robin, however, still had a long journey ahead of him. With his newfound health and vigor, he was ready to embark on the next chapter of his life, finding his forever home. The rescue organization launched a campaign to help Robin find the perfect family, sharing his story far and wide on social media and in local communities. As Robin continued to flourish under the care of Vet Ranch Animal Rescue, his story reverberated throughout the community, touching the hearts of many. Back at the local shelter where Robin was first brought in, the staff followed his progress with bated breath, relieved and overjoyed to hear of his miraculous turnaround. The vet at the local shelter couldn't shake the guilt she felt for nearly condemning Robin to an untimely end. Determined to right this wrong and ensure that no other animals suffered a similar fate due to a lack of resources, she decided to take action. She joined forces with the team at Vet Ranch Animal Rescue to launch a groundbreaking initiative called Strays Off the Street. This initiative aimed to address the rampant issue of abandoned and neglected animals in their community, providing them with a second chance at life. Every month, the dedicated team embarked on rescue missions, scouring the streets for animals in need. Armed with compassion and determination, they braved harsh conditions to bring these vulnerable creatures to safety. Whether it was a stray dog like Robin or a frightened kitten hiding in an alley, no animal was left behind. As word of their noble cause spread, support poured in from all corners. Generous individuals and organizations alike rallied behind the mission, offering donations of both funds and supplies to support their efforts. With each successful rescue, the momentum of strays off the street continued to grow, becoming a beacon of hope for animals in need. As Robin's story continued to inspire hope and ignite change, the vet at the local shelter felt a sense of redemption wash over her. Though she couldn't change the past, she had played a pivotal role in shaping a brighter future for countless animals in need. And as Robin basked in the security of the rescue, he unknowingly became the face of a movement that had transformed the landscape of animal welfare in their community. His journey from despair to triumph had sparked a wave of compassion and activism that would resonate for years to come, ensuring that no animal would ever be left behind again. With the newfound resources at their disposal, the team wasted no time in expanding their reach. They used the donations to upgrade their facilities, build more cages, and invest in state-of-the-art equipment and medicine. Every penny was put to good use, ensuring that every animal received the care and attention they deserved. But their work didn't stop there. In addition to rescue operations, the team also focused on education and advocacy, raising awareness about the importance of responsible pet ownership and the plight of stray animals. They visited schools, community centers, and local events, spreading their message far and wide. Their efforts didn't go unnoticed. The state government, impressed by the impact of strays off the street, pledged additional funding to support their cause. With this newfound support, the team's vision of expanding shelters and building more facilities began to take shape, laying the foundation for a brighter future for animals in their community. And all of this was inspired by one limping pooch, whose small but loving gesture changed everything. And as they looked towards the future, they knew that their work was far from over. With each rescue, each donation, and each act of kindness, they were building a world where no animal would ever be left behind, where every life mattered and every creature had a chance to thrive. As time went on, the Strays Off the Street initiative gained momentum and ignited a newfound sense of compassion and responsibility within the local community. People from all walks of life were inspired to open their hearts and homes to animals in need, eager to make a difference in their lives. However, the vet at the local shelter and the staff at Vet Ranch Animal Rescue understood the importance of ensuring that each adoption was a responsible and informed decision. They implemented thorough screening processes, conducting interviews and home visits to ensure that potential adopters were capable of providing a loving and stable environment for their new furry companions. During these conversations, they emphasized the importance of owner responsibility and educated prospective adopters about the lifelong commitment they were undertaking. They stressed that adopting a pet was not just a temporary gesture of goodwill, but a lifelong commitment to providing love, care, and stability. As more and more animals found loving homes through these careful adoption processes, the streets began to transform. No longer were they overrun with stray animals left to fend for themselves. Instead, they became safe and welcoming environments for both humans and animals alike. Robin, who had once faced the prospect of a bleak future, now found himself at the center of a loving family. A kind couple, eager to welcome a new member into their home, fell in love with Robin's gentle demeanor and boundless affection. The vet and staff at Vet Ranch Animal Rescue deemed them worthy adopters, confident that Robin would thrive in their care. The couple, delighted to have found a furry companion to grow alongside their growing family, embraced Robin as one of their own. With each passing day, Robin's bond with his new family deepened, and his once uncertain future is now filled with love and joy. Inspired by Robin's story and the success of Strays Off the Street, neighboring communities took note and began to take action to address their own stray animal populations. They implemented similar initiatives, rallying their residents to prioritize animal welfare and responsible pet ownership. As a result, a culture of accountability and compassion began to emerge, breaking the cycle of abandonment and neglect. Together, these communities worked tirelessly to ensure that every animal had a chance at a better life, just like Robin had been given. In the end, Robin's journey from a stray dog facing euthanasia to being adopted in the warmth and love of his forever home served as a beacon of hope for animals everywhere. His legacy lived on, inspiring countless individuals and communities to make a difference in the lives of those who couldn't speak for themselves. What do you think of this story? Wouldn't you agree that Robin's journey was quite an incredible one? Feel free to drop your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, share this video and subscribe for future updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.